Isaac. Where's Robert? Is he...
I shot him, Ellie.
What?
I'm sorry. I had no choice.
Norton betrayed us, Ellie. He was ready to kill us. Isaac did what he had to do to save the mission. Come on! We gotta keep moving.
Now there are only 4 of us left! I can't do this!
Then we leave you behind. If you can't keep your head, you're a danger to everybody.
You're horrible!
Nobody's leaving anybody. Now come on. Let's get to the top of this mountain. Together. Together.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Death Wish Studios. Well, after a little bit, I'm finally back for a little bit. Not going to be too much because a lot of crap has been happening lately. But nonetheless, I am back for a little bit until I get my stuff situated. As always, thank you for visiting this channel and this video here. And again, bottom left corner, we're going to have the GPU, the video card information. Bottom right corner, as always, we're going to have the CPU. Now on to bigger and better things. And obviously, Dead Space 3 is on here. This is an old game, I understand. However, due to circumstances, which I'm going to explain here in a second, why I haven't been able to put up videos or anything like that. Now, enjoy this video while I speak a little bit. The first thing that happened was my coolant system went down. Something was going down with it and it was messing up. There was a little beep that kept clicking away. And finally, it was like, what the crap? So since I am overseas right now, I'm in the military and I'm overseas, I cannot just call people and say, hey, I have this situation. I had to get my wife to do it. They called, they did all kinds of information. I emailed them and everything. Lo and behold, of course, being my luck, the warranty was out on it. It was out for, I believe, the situation started happening, the issue started happening like 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Like I bought the thing on August 15th and September 1st it started messing up. So I was like, you gotta be kidding me, man. So I emailed them and everything and they said that, yeah, they'll treat it, you know, I give them my situation, they said, yeah, they'll treat it in the warranty, no big deal, just send it back. So I had to send my stuff to my wife, who in turn had to send it to Coolants, fixed it, send it back to my wife, then she sent it back to me. Keep in mind, I'm halfway across the world, so it takes time. It took a minute for this thing to get and travel and do all this crap that I had to do. Well, finally I got my coolants back and I was like, finally, got this thing back, set up my computer, everything. Went to go play Just Cause 2 because I was bored one day. Popped in the thing on Steam and I started getting artifacts. It's like, you have got to be kidding me. So I looked, I was like, what's going on here? I looked online and everything. Because some games, for example, right here, Dead Space 3, The Witcher 2, things like that, they don't have artifacts. So I was like, what is going on? So maybe it's Steam. I uninstalled Steam, reinstalled it, lost all my games. It's a huge mess that was going on. Well, after research and doing some stuff and all this other crap, finally figured out what had happened was one of my cards, if not all of them, probably one of my cards, the DirectX 11 RAM chip on it or something messed up. So any DirectX 10 or DirectX 11 games that I play have artifacts, some serious artifacts. I'm talking about Battlefield 4. I have that game and it was these green, like, just squares came up all over and I was like, you have got, yep, those are artifacts. So sure enough, one of my cards is bad. Luckily, EVGA has a 3-year warranty. However, that being said, I am not in the States, so I can't just up and send stuff up and whatnot, and I'm about to leave here in a couple of months, so it's not worth it. That being said, however, brings me to my next point. My computer is pretty old. Those video cards are fairly new, but my processor, my RAM, my motherboard, all that stuff is pretty old. And I've been doing some research and things like that, and the new, I think there's a new 8-core that's coming out for Intel next year. And of course, lo and behold, the Maxwells are coming out. Now, the Maxwells, if you can research it, you put Nvidia Maxwell on the in Google or whatever. They're supposed to be coming out Q1 2014. That's roughly when I'll get back to the States, hopefully. And I get up my situated and things like that. I'm not going to get the launch title or the launch cards. I'm going to get the later cards, which is going to be the, you know, because if you wait a little bit, you know, like the 680s came out, they came out with 2 gigs, then the 4 gigs came out, then the Titans came out, and that was ridiculous. So those cards are still powerful. These cards right here are still powerful enough to run just about any freaking game you throw at it. However, once the Maxwells come out, the second generation of them come out, that's when I'm going to upgrade. However, I am going to upgrade my processor and my motherboard, my sound card, everything except for the cards, because, well, I still have these pretty badass cards. So once the Maxwells comes out, and let's talk about a little bit about the Maxwells. I was doing some research, and you guys can do some research as well, but I'm reading some forums and some YouTube videos, and of course it's in the light now. The per wattage that, you know, it's used on cards and things like that, the Fermis were, what was it, the Teslas, I think it was, or whatever the hell they were. They were about 2.5 times stronger than those first generation cards, like the not the 480s, but the previous one before that. And then the Fermis were about 1.5 to 2 times stronger. The ones that are currently now are the Keplers, and those are about 3.5 to 4 times stronger than the first generation cards. Now the Keplers are insanely strong cards. The 780 GTX 780s and the GTX Titans, those are insanely crazy cards. And the Maxwells are going to be anywhere from 14 to 16 times stronger than those first generation cards, which means that's going to be anywhere from 10 to 12 times stronger than the Keplers are now. That is ridiculous. I mean, you think about it, that's one of those cards equals 3 or 4 of these cards. So my plan in the future is I'm going to 4-way SLI those Maxwells. And I know a lot of you are probably thinking, oh, that's overkill. Well, when you're playing games like Battlefield 4 on surround gaming with 3D on, you're going to need a monster video card to run them. And one of those cards is probably not going to, because these cards right here, my cards are kind of faulty right now, but I'll get them fixed. But these cards right here are struggling with Battlefield 4. And that's because one of the cards, or maybe 2 of them, are very, you know, crappy. However, I'm still getting about 15 to 20 frames per second with shitty cards that I have now, or faulty cards, I should say. Once I get these fixed, I'll get more than that, probably 25, 30 frames per second. But that's with about high settings, not in ultra. In ultra settings, I'm getting anywhere from 5 to 10, again, with shitty cards, but I'm not going to get any more than that once I get them fixed. The Maxwells, I'm going to run 4-way SLI on these kind of monitors, and you got to think that the 4K resolution monitors are coming out, or they're already out, by the way, and those are ridiculous resolutions. I mean, that's high resolution on 3D. Yeah, you're going to need some beefy cards. Now, in forums that I was reading, these Maxwells are going to be, I think they're going to have, like, some of them are going to have starting off at 6 gigs of video RAM, and from there move on forward. Like the Titan went from, the Keplers went from 4 gigs, and ones that I have now, to 6 gig Titans. Could you imagine having an 8 gig 4-way SLI video card, or video cards with 8 gigs of VRAM? That's going to be insane. I don't even know. I cannot wait to put videos up with those. And again, if you subscribe and like these videos, it'll motivate me enough to make those. And I'm going to get the cards anyway. However, that way I can show you guys, hey, this is what these cards are capable of. And again, just motivate me enough to get it done, and I'll get it done for you guys. Now, I'm at a loss for words for that, and that's going to be in next year, the first quarter of next year. So by June, July of next year, we're going to have the second generation Maxwells, and that's going to be insane. Again, insane cards. The new Intels that are coming out are going to have 8 cores, and they're going to be running anywhere from 4.2 gigahertz to close to 4.6. And I liquid cool them and overclock them. I'll be getting 5.2 gigahertz on a processor. And then these RAMs, the new RAMs that I'm thinking about getting, 64 gigs of RAM with 2400 megahertz of DDR3. That is ridiculous. Some people don't have processors that are fast. So again, the reason I do this is, yes, I know there's a lot of stuff, but the reason I do this is that way you guys can have a benchmark and say, you need this monster computer to run this game at full-blown graphics, which, well, that's what you need. If not, then you can adjust yourself. Now, that brings me to my next point, is a lot of people, I've been reading a lot of emails as well, and a lot of YouTube channels and a lot of discussion that all these computer gamers are hating on the Xbox One and the PS4s are like, oh, you know, you guys, we've been playing with this stuff forever, and you PC or you console gamers don't know what it really like to game, blah blah blah. Me personally, I'm more of a PC gamer. I love PC games because again, you can adjust, you can do pretty much whatever you want with the PC, and you can have a lot more resolutions. Example, this right here, surround gaming. You cannot get this on an Xbox One or a PS4. That being said, however, let's not look at it as in we've been gaming, you guys are just trying to catch up now, we're going to be better. Let's look at it as the game developers have a system now where before they would have to make a game specifically for the consoles, PS3, Xbox 360, and then turn around and make it specifically for PC, which makes it glitchy, which makes it crappy. We've known what if a developer does a game directly for PC, hence The Witcher 2, how insane and how awesome those games are. The Witcher 2 is by far one of the better games I've ever played. Now, whenever it's a hence console port, we all know that saying. It's a shitty game. You know, it's got glitches. It doesn't match. The controls suck, etc., etc. Now these game developers are starting to, the console developers are starting to catch up to the PC, which means the game developers are going to make the games for the consoles first because it's cheaper and they make more money that way. And they can easily transfer it over to PC because now those games bring DirectX 11 and things like that. So let's not start fighting and say, oh, the PCs are way better, PCs this and that. No, let's just be glad and say, hey, good. Finally, you guys caught up. Now we as PC gamers can enjoy our games the way they were meant to be enjoyed. And that's the way I see it versus, you know, saying, hey, we are better, blah, blah, blah. So let's I'm off my soapbox there, but let's just unison and say, hey, console gamers, thank you for bringing the graphics up to date with PC, and hopefully the games are going to be much better from now on versus what they used to be as console ports, which we all know was shitty. But that's pretty much my story for the past 6 months that I haven't put up a video, and that's the reason I haven't been able to put up a video. But now all I can do is put up videos that are DirectX 9. So if you have a game out there that's DirectX 9 for now, I can throw it up and we'll discuss whatever it is. But DirectX 11 games, it's too many. It's just artifacts. Like it's just green screen sometimes. That's unplayable. It's not even worth putting up because I'm not going to give you the correct benchmarks. So that's pretty much that. So alright guys, well hopefully you enjoyed this video, and please like, and if you can, subscribe. That way you give me motivation for later down the road. And like this video and give me some feedback on saying what kind of games you would like to see. Alright guys, well this is Deathwish signing out. Peace.